Think back to a single summer when you were a kid. It went on forever. One afternoon could hold an entire world. Now, a whole year goes by and you barely feel it pass. You blink, and somehow it's December again. Same 12 months, same length on the calendar. But somewhere along the way, time quietly hit the accelerator. So, why does your life keep speeding up? And is there any way to slow it back down? The answer is stranger than you're just getting older. And it changes everything you think you know about the math of your own life, the way your memory works, and the actual speed of reality itself. Let's start with the simplest, coldest explanation. Because part of this is just arithmetic. In 1890, the psychologist William James wrote down something a French philosopher named Paul Janet had noticed, and he called it a law. The apparent length of any stretch of time, James said, is proportional to the total length of the life you've already lived. Here's what that means for you. When you are 10 years old, 1 year is a tenth of everything you have ever experienced. It is enormous, a tenth of your entire existence. But when you are 50, that exact same year is just 1/50th of your life. The year hasn't changed at all. You have. Every single birthday, the newest year becomes a thinner and thinner slice of the whole. So that endless childhood summer and this year that just vanished, measured against your own life, the child summer really was the bigger one. This wasn't time being slower back then. This was you being smaller. So each piece of time was a larger share of you. And follow that math forward and it gets unsettling. By this logic, in terms of how long your life feels from the inside, you've already lived half of it by the time you're in your early 20s. Not half your years, half your felt years, the vivid ones. But James knew the arithmetic wasn't the whole story, because he added something else, and this is the part you can actually feel. Your sense of how long a stretch of time lasted isn't really built while you're living it. It's built afterward, out of memory. And your brain does not store time evenly. It stores change, new faces, new places, first times. When you were a kid, nearly everything was a first. The first day of school, the first time you rode a bike, saw the ocean, stayed up past midnight, got your heart broken. Your brain was laying down memory after memory after memory, dense and bright and detailed. Look back on that year, and it is packed. It feels huge because in there, it is huge. Now try to remember last Tuesday, then the Tuesday before that. You probably can't tell them apart. As an adult, your life runs on rails, the same commute, the same screens, the same few rooms. James called it the monotony of memory's content. Your brain, finding almost nothing new worth keeping, quietly stops recording. A whole month can slip past and leave barely a trace. So the year didn't actually go fast. It went unrecorded. You weren't given less time, you just remembered less of it. And you have felt the proof of this. Go somewhere completely new for a single week, a place where every street and smell and face is unfamiliar, and that 1 week will feel longer in your memory than the 2 ordinary months before it. Researchers call it the holiday paradox. Novelty stretches time back out. And then, in 2019, an engineer at Duke University named Adrian Bejan took the whole thing one level deeper, past memory, down into the machinery itself. Bejan argues that what we call mind time is really a stream of mental images, snapshots your brain assembles from your senses, and the speed of time you feel is simply how fast those snapshots arrive. When you're young, they come fast. A child's brain is smaller, its neural pathways short and fresh, the eyes flicking around the world constantly. Signals travel quickly. You are capturing a high frame rate of reality, many mental images every second. But as you age, those pathways grow longer and more tangled, and they begin to degrade. Signals slow down, your eyes move less, and so you capture fewer and fewer snapshots in the very same stretch of real-world time. To you, nothing feels different. But because you are now sampling reality more slowly, the outside world appears to move faster. The clock on the wall is racing, not because time changed, but because you are filming it in slow motion and your mind is playing it back at full speed. Now put all three together, and it's almost cruel. The years shrink as a fraction of your life. Routine erases them from memory, and your own brain quietly lowers the frame rate. Left alone on autopilot, a human life doesn't really end. It just gets compressed faster and faster until whole decades start slipping by like weeks. We call this getting older, and we treat it like a sentence. Something that simply happens to you, that you have no say in. But look closer at those three forces. The arithmetic you genuinely can't change. But the other two? They are both about one thing, novelty, newness. how much of your life is actually new? So what if the speeding up was never really about time at all? What if it's a measure of how much of your life you are spending on autopilot? And what if that means you can slow it back down? Not by finding more hours, by filling them with more firsts. Learn the instrument. Take the unfamiliar road home. Talk to the stranger. Go to the place you have never been. Every genuinely new experience is a stone dropped into the stream. Your brain jolts awake, starts recording again, and that ordinary day stretches long, the way they all used to. The arithmetic of your years, the monotony of your memory, the slowing frame rate of your own mind. Three quiet forces, all pulling in the same direction, all telling you the same thing. That endless childhood summer was never actually longer. You were just awake for every second of it. Every color was new. Nothing was a repeat. You can still have summers like that. You only have to stop letting your life become a thing you have already seen. And most of us never even notice the moment we stop.